All right. Well, hello.
Hello.
Yes, we're here at Urban R2 and with Gary Rosenberg. And introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the firm before we get started talking about Catalyst.
Well, thank you, Kate. It's a pleasure to have you here, and I'm pleased to be able to talk about Catalyst and a little about myself. Our firm, Urban R2, was formed in recent years to do distinguished development that's accessible, usable, and affordable for people in the city of Chicago, with the hope that we'd add something a little unique and something noteworthy to the city itself. Our prior project was the 600 North Fairbanks project, which is the first project that was designed by Helmut Jahn in Chicago as a condominium building. It was an immensely successful project. From that experience, we decided to stay with the concept of using distinguished world-class architects, creating buildings that have something that sets them apart from the others from a design point of view. But with the changes in the market conditions, we felt that we wanted to come up with a product that was more affordable to a greater number of people, more towards the middle market. And we felt that we'd be safest staying away from the highest end of the market. So we had the good fortune to have an opportunity to acquire a piece of property. It's actually 3 parcels, 3 contiguous parcels in the near West Loop at the intersection of Washington Boulevard and Des Plaines. And that is a great location. It's not on the expressway, so it's very good living. You don't have the interference or the intrusion or the noise of the expressway, but you have the proximity to it. It's across the way from the expressway. Somebody comes off of the expressway on the Washington Street exit and they turn towards the loop, they'll see our building. And we knew that, and because of that, we wanted to create a building that would have architectural distinction, and we felt that Lucien Lagrange was the appropriate person to accomplish that for this building, and have been extremely pleased with what he's done. My own background is, in summary, one of having been a practicing securities lawyer, but prior to that, in my teens, having obtained a real estate brokerage license. I went through 3 degrees in school, MBA and a law degree, as well as undergraduate, and using my brokerage license to help me pay my way through school. But in that process, I also stumbled upon opportunities to do some very small developments. So I actually was a developer, you might say, before I was a lawyer, before I had my advanced education. I used that effectively. I found I didn't mind the practice of law. I liked it. I have a lot of friends who I guess you could say minded the practice of law, but I didn't mind it. And I actually somewhat enjoyed it, but I certainly enjoyed real estate development much more. There's great creative opportunities there to do things that otherwise might not get done, and that provide wonderful living opportunities for people and make a contribution to the community at the same time, and build a company that has quality people in it who do well as well. So it's a very fulfilling thing to do. Over the course of my career, which has been over a period of decades, I've developed all over the country, especially across the Sun Belt as well as in Chicago. And I've developed most types of real estate, but especially great amount of residential living units. I've done over 50,000 residential living units over the years. So I think that probably provides you the background.
Absolutely. If you could talk a little bit about Catalyst, this project that you've got at Washington and Des Plaines, and tell us just a little bit about what this new building will be like.
Well, the new building will be architecturally distinct. It has a very striking geometric look to it, a lot of glass and some interesting color to it as well. It's right at the intersection of Washington Boulevard and Des Plaines, and that's a very well-located place for it to be. You have access to all the different entertainment and restaurant facilities in the area, but you still have very almost immediate access to the expressways and to the other means of transportation around in the city. It's an excellent location on the ground floor for Walgreens, and we in fact have a Walgreens. Lease is signed and they're ready to move in when we have the facility for them with an entrance on Washington Street at 630 West Washington. The Walgreens will be the full service type of Walgreens that I think everybody has seen.
Yeah.
Prescriptions, and they'll probably have clinic facilities, though they're working on developing that in their stores as well, and all the other services and products that they provide. It's an excellent feature for the building and for the residents living in the building, as well as being very good for the neighborhood itself. So that's our ground floor.
Do you have any other retail there on the ground floor?
We have one other very small retail space. It'll be a boutique-like facility. We haven't yet decided what that'll be. It's about a 1,600 square foot retail space, very small. Walgreens uses the rest of the space for their store, loading docks, but they have parking that's separate from the residential parking in the building. The building is a residential building, and
how many stories?
It's 21 stories high. I'm sorry, it's 22 stories high, but the top residential floor is on the 21st floor.